ACCA PER, Practical Experience Requirement. What is this and why is this so confusing? So we made multiple videos, but I'm going to re-explain it to you guys. I hope that this gives you some value. And guys, do stay till the end of this video because we're going to announce something that should be beneficial to many of you guys. So every professional qualification expects you to actually study and pass their exams, which we as students think is the main thing. But for everything, you also need to demonstrate work experience. Now, if you are doing CA, you need articleship. If you're doing CPA, you need 1 year of experience. If you're doing CFA, you need 3 years of experience. If you're doing MBA, depending on the level of MBA, you need 1 or 2 years of experience, bare minimum. Similarly, for ACCA, you need to complete something called PER. So think about PER being split into 3 verticals. The first is simple and the most tedious. It is 3 years, 36 months of work in the field of finance or accounts. So the flexibility is the biggest advantage of ACCA, where you can actually start working during your ACCA, you can do it after your exams, and if you have work experience before you start ACCA somewhere related to finance or accounts, that also can count. If you are a student with no experience and have started studying for ACCA, my request to you guys is that by the time you are in the middle of skill level max, start working in any field. You can, best suggestion is work in a CA firm, because not only do you really get to be disciplined with the most, where you actually go through the grind, but you get great exposure, especially if you do audit, because you'll go to different companies, different industries, you will see how the different business models work, and a lot of the other aspects of PR also will get covered, but most importantly, so is the 36 months. And remember, you will need to ensure that every time you work, you will have to ensure that your employer knows that they need to sign off on these 36 months. And further flexibility is that you don't need to work for all 36 months in one company in one go. You can literally work for a few months before ACCA, during ACCA, and after ACCA, as long as the total is 36 months. You can literally work 36 different months if you want. It's just not efficient. And you can work in multiple different companies. So you can work for 1 year in one company and other 2 years in another company, or you can change 10 companies in 36 months. But long story short, my recommendation is work in one company 3 years, give it your all. Don't worry about how difficult is it and what's your CTC at this level. You're going to learn and build your own market value and ensure that ACCA is recognizing this work experience. So that's on the first vertical of a 36 months. Second is what we call performance objectives. Now in this case, the ACCA body has provided us a list of objectives, and the objectives are they can be about communication, they can be about strategy, they can be about taxation, they can be about auditing, they can be about accounting, and we as ACCA members have to prove to the ACCA body that we have fulfilled or we have achieved these objectives. Now these objectives again can be achieved independent of the work experience. It can be before, during, or after ACCA, but the key here is that the person who's signing this off, the performance objectives, they need to be what we call an IFAC member. IFAC means the CA body of India, the ACCA body, the CPA body. All these bodies who are under the umbrella of IFAC, which means the person who's signing needs to ideally be a chartered accountant or an ACCA member himself or herself. So I would suggest that when you're working for 36 months, right, you will realize that if you really work, like let's say you work in auditing, all those objectives you will be able to achieve from auditing itself. Similarly, if you work a little bit in auditing, a little bit in tax, a little bit in accounting in 2-3 different companies, as long as every company has a senior who is a chartered accountant, you will be able to achieve all these objectives easily. And finally, the third vertical is called EPSM module, the ethics module. This is basically an online module. You have to pay the ACCA sum. It's mandatory. You pay them a sum. They'll give you like a module for a few hours on ethics. So they'll give you some case scenarios, some questions, and you have to solve it, try to pass them because they're ethical questions. You have to show the body that you are morally a good person and you can make the right ethical decisions. So this is not a real exam. If you don't get the answer right, they just ask you to do it again. And you keep doing it till you clear it all. So it takes a few hours, and it's recommended that you do it when you reach your professional level papers. But if you complete these 3 things along with the 13 papers of ACCA, that's when you become an ACCA member. Otherwise, without PER but only exams done, you are an ACCA affiliate. So if you are studying ACCA, you think I've gotten exemptions, or I have to put all my energy in studies, because that's what takes the most amount of time. You are right to a certain degree. However, if you are thinking that that's the entire game, please don't make that mistake. Working is actually equally important as studying. Once you demonstrate to the body and the world and yourself that you can actually work, add value to your company, add value to clients, use what you've learned in ACCA over here, that's when the real value of becoming an ACCA member explodes. That's when hopefully your profile, your CTC, your your opportunities, whether in India or overseas, all open up. So this is how you have to think about PR. And since you stuck till the end of this video, please do click on the link below. We will be choosing 2 out of you guys to actually have a one-on-one with me where you can ask anything, whether it is about any of our programs, anything about your career in the field of finance and accounting, or about this video. So looking forward to having a chat with each of you guys one-on-one. So if you found any value in this video, then please do give us a thumbs up. And as always, if any other questions, leave it in the comments.